So Golden Sun was trending on Twitter recently, which is something, you know, that maybe happens once every other year, once every 2 years, something like that. But this time, it was for an actually legitimate reason, and not because someone was talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna get a new game at E3 this year or something like that. So yeah, Camelot's been trending again because they apparently updated their website. They updated the heck out of it. They've also posted some new job postings, which, you know, kind of hints that maybe they've got something else in the works. Maybe they've got another game. More than likely, it's probably just another Mario sports game. I'm tempering my expectations because as a Golden Sun fan for the last, what is it now, 22 years, you learn to just take each hit as it comes and be excited for whatever they do, because at the end of the day, Camelot's the one that can do it if given the opportunity. So let's start off with some of the strategy guides that I've accumulated over the years. I never really dug in and seen if there was more. Like I've never actually found a full-on first Golden Sun game strategy guide. The one I have here is the Prima official strategy guide that covers both Golden Sun and the Lost Age. It's pretty good, all things considered. I know Prima is not necessarily known for the best strategy guides, but I feel like maybe that is just something that was for later consoles. The Golden Sun The Lost Age one is phenomenal. I mean, like, you've got shop prices for items, you've got high-res artwork in the book itself, and these are, you know, some of the best art renderings that we have of the characters at this point, because everything else came from the box, directly ripped from the box or the manual or something like that. Yeah, and this one's really nice. I really like this one. It has a lot of notes, but it does this fun thing from time to time where it shows like Felix running or Isaac running on the overworld map in 1, 2, 3, 4 places. Like clearly that's how they took the screenshots, and they stitched it together, which I think is really cool, as opposed to a giant overarching screenshot like some of these other maps in the book. But yeah, it's really kind of funny. What I really like about this guide is it includes a list of all the synergy in the back. So if you ever need to know a little bit about what your class is going to get without, you know, taking the time to actually equip the Djinn and go into that class, you know, it's really nice. This one is the Game Boy Advance Nintendo Power official strategy guide for the Lost Age. And what I really like about this one is young me was terrible at keeping their things nice, because it starts off with the chapter selection, and then a little bit of a synopsis, and then we're at the Eastern Sea, which is chapter 5 in the book, which is like, you know, when you go to the Lemurian ship. And I mean, you can see that like the pages are coming out of this. I love this one so much. I would go on, you know, anytime we were in the car driving to Walmart or something like that, I was always reading this version of the strategy guide. For no reason other than I just liked to know everything about Golden Sun. It was great, it was nice. Apparently it has a hole in the back. But yeah, I mean, same situation. It's got all the synergy information, it's got items, it's got the rings and the robes and the blacksmith information, which actually the blacksmith information is really kind of nice and helpful. That's something that I find myself going back to anytime I play The Lost Age, whether it's in a randomized speed run, not speed run, but like a randomized run with my friend Pokanoob, or just a general playthrough in general. But we're actually going to skip the one that's underneath this and just jump directly into Dark Dawn, because it's another Prima guide, but this was the day 1 premiere edition. It's got like a glossy cover on it. It's actually really kind of nice. And then you open it up and it's got you know, writer credits and the contents. There's so much in this one, which is hilarious because, you know, everyone argues and says that Dark Dawn there's not a lot to the game. Like, this book has almost 200 pages of information just on the game, on everything. The Djinn, this one is really nice too, because it like lists out all the Djinn in the order you get them. I believe is actually what it is. It's the order you get them. Actually, that's not right. Never mind. But it lists them all out. It lists what they do. There's a checklist in here. I've never filled out the checklist because I'm always like, well, I'm going to do it another time. And then just a nice, like, high-res, again, rendering in the back of the book. There was a poster in here. I think that's at my parents' house still, probably. And then we got this. This is from a line of strategy guides called the Nintendo Power Advanced. I don't really know how to describe this other than it was a guide for Golden Sun with in-depth coverage, I might add. Wario Land 4, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer Stone for the Game Boy Advance, and Breath of Fire as well, which was actually my first interaction with the Breath of Fire game, which is another game that I really need to talk about at some point. Unfortunately, I do need to get a new copy of this someday, if I can find a good used one, because this one literally, I must have ripped the pages out at some point. Again, young me was kind of an idiot, but it starts right at the end of the game with the Venus Lighthouse, and then it goes like 2 pages and the sun is done. Then we got Wario Land 4, which is, honestly, I really want to play. Breath of Fire, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone again. What I really do like about this one, and I want to cover this in a future video as well, about Nintendo Powers, but there's this nice little thing in the back of the book. There's this nice little section that talks about strategies, tips, cheat codes, and tricks for a lot of games on the Game Boy Advance. Like this one includes Advanced Wars, Klonoa, Empire of Dreams, Lady Sia, which is a game that I've never seen anything else on other than it being on the Game Boy Advance. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I mean, that's like, it's already perfect. Why did we have to add any more? These old strategy guides were always so cool to me because they showed off games that I would probably never be able to pick up because, you know, as a child, you are limited on the things you can do with money. And also the ability to go to these places to spend money because you don't have a car. Yeah, I mean, like this was a really cool one. Like I said, specifically because of the Golden Sun and the Breath of Fire section. But I really need to take a close look. We need to really get in close on this cover here. Because much like when I said young me was horrible at keeping their things nice, I scratched out Golden Sun is here, and wrote Golden Sun 2 is here today. I believe that one says Butt of Fire. I scratched out Breath of Fire and wrote Butt of Fire. Harry Potter and I don't even know what I wrote there. Now that I'm 30 years old and looking back at this, I hate my young self. Because why would he do that? Why would he color all over that? This is the copy that I first picked up. And the story of how I got into Golden Sun is that my mom was like, okay, we got your Game Boy, you got the Game Boy Advance, and you need to play something other than Pokemon. So here, look through this ad for the local Meijer, and let's pick something out. And I looked, and I looked, and I looked, and I'm like, that! And so we went and picked it up, and yeah, like easily put me on the path we're on today. It's even got, like, I still have I rewrapped the cartridge in its own little wrap. I got this from another Game Boy game. This has seen better years, as you can clearly see, but I've got the case. That was actually, this I had to steal from another Game Boy game. But I've got, we've got the manual, we've got the Golden Sun manual, we've got the Game Boy instruction booklet, subscribe and receive a free issue of Nintendo Power. Let's just look through this real quick, like, yeah. This is the good stuff. They don't make them, they really don't make, the fact that they don't put manuals in games anymore is really sad to me. While we're talking about the original Golden Sun, I have to kind of aim over there real quick. I don't know if you can see it, but there's like shadow box cut out of the final battle of Venus Lighthouse from Golden Sun 1. My lovely wife got me that for Christmas this past year in 2021. Golden Sun: The Lost Age. This one is in a protective case. It's a loose copy in there, which is kind of funny. Didn't come with a manual. You know what? Actually, I don't care. I don't think this one came with a manual or anything else in it, but I would very much like to find out. Oh no, I was wrong. This one actually does come with the Lost Age manual, which I always thought the Lost Age art looked great. Comparing the first game to the second game in terms of the box art, there's just something about it that looked good compared to its predecessor. I mean, stack the two of them together. They both look good, but I don't know, it's so different. And then it's kind of like a fun little additional comparison. I have boxed copies of the Japanese versions, the Lost Age and Golden Sun. And again, like, that looks cool. That just is so good looking. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the fact that they changed the logo, or especially with Golden Sun 1, they went with the cast, and then 2, they just went with like artfulness. Pretty cool. Love the back. I wonder, actually, I've never looked at this. Are any of the, no, none of the screenshots on the back are similar on Lost Age, or in the game, or in the original. Huh, that's neat. It does say that it's 2-player though, so that's cool. And then of course, round things off, as I said, at some point I'm gonna talk a little bit more about Golden Sun. It's gonna get its full day in the sun. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and you know, let's do another one of these soon-ish.